All right. Welcome back to another edition of Scaling Secrets Podcast. I am your host, Alex Mahaz, and today we have a true tech guru joining us on the show. He is the CEO and founder of Particle 41, a serial technical co-founder with an impressive track record of success. With over 20 years of experience just in software development alone and leadership, he has become an expert in building highly scalable and highly secure applications. As a board-level advisor and founder, he has deep understandings of how things work and is constantly focused on improving efficiency through technology teams. Get ready as we dive into a great conversation with the one and only Ben Johnson. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Likewise. So let's jump right into it. I'm curious, just your extensive experience just in entrepreneurship, building SaaS technology businesses. What advice would you give to an inspiring tech entrepreneur who's just starting out in their journey?
Oh, that's a great question. Just starting out on your journey, I think do it to learn. Don't necessarily do it to knock it out of the park. I think SaaS entrepreneurship is all about learning your customer, learning your user and their needs, and it's kind of an exercise of undetermined duration. Like even a marathon, we know that's exactly 26.3 miles or 26.2 miles. So it has a known duration, and you can train for that. The SaaS journey is an unknown duration. You just have to keep working with your customers to figure out what it is that they want. And taking them needs until you win in your industry and become a market leader.
100%. I like how you said consistency, really sticking to the routines and really not giving up and being able to pivot too when you have to. So going off of that, efficiency, it's really key to building success within technology teams. I work in IT project management, so I know firsthand just, how important it is to be efficient. Can you just share some strategies or some hacks you've learned along your journey that can really maximize building effective tech teams?
So, on the team side, what we've seen is the one single key to productivity is getting out in front of your team as a leader. So we have a thing called an agile maturity model. You'll doing what you do, you'll understand this. And at the first level of the maturity model, you set up a team agreement. You just say, hey, how are we going to work together? Second level of the maturity model, you say, hey, are we doing what we said we would do? At the third level of the maturity model, now we start to say, hey, do we have 1 to 2 sprints? Are we thinking about next week's work or next sprint's work, the next iteration, while we're operating or doing the current work? And so at level 3, you start to separate current from next. And all the planning and toil is going in. There's some rigor going into that next phase of work. And then what we see at level 4 is that we actually get 2 to 3 sprints out in front of our team. That's a key to efficiency. So a way to generalize that, I'm using words like sprints, and not everybody may connect with that. Mm-hmm. The way of saying that is leaders have to plan ahead. Especially in this post-COVID world where we have remote development teams, we have to be out in front of our teams so that they can work on the current. We can have a clear definition of their current work list and be putting rigor into what's coming in front of them. Just because remote development teams, if they have to stop and ask questions about what it is you exactly want, then that's going to lead to inefficiency. That's going to reduce productivity. They'll be queuing, looking for those. It's really going back to the lean manufacturing days. That would be like having questions about an order when you're supposed to be making the items for the order. We see that leadership's ability to plan ahead, strategize a little bit, not the whole year. You don't have to boil the ocean, but you at least have to know what's next for your teams while they're working on the things that you decided.
Definitely always planning for the future and also understanding what impediments might come up is really important. I'm curious, going off of that, you talked a lot about planning. How important it is to have like a roadmap in place, and do a lot of your teams have roadmaps for the whole year? Is your 2024 roadmap already, completed, or is that something that you do quarterly?
Yeah, I'm offering my clients right now, they're looking at 2024 to first define SMART goals or OKRs. what do you want the end of 2024 to look like? And then we'd go through a process of saying, okay, well, what things need to be true? So I do a lot of CTO advisory and helping executive teams kind of get that foundational set of planning. And then we can make execution plans from the things that need to be true in order to make those goals true, right? If I want to lose weight, I should probably be working out right now, today. I should have daily habits that lead to that goal of the weight loss on the horizon. Businesses are no different. So with my team, I'm doing my 2024 SMART goals and OKRs, whichever format you prefer. But just making sure I have something with measurable outcomes and we know what success looks like. And I'm giving that to the team now so that they can break that up to the next level and the entire company can be aware of that. And I'm offering that as a service right now to my clients if they should want help from me to facilitate that exercise. Maybe they're not super comfortable with that exercise of creating OKRs or SMART goals, and they'd like a little guidance. That's something that I'm totally helping folks with, and it's actually something I really enjoy.
I love that. I do too, personally. I love out planning and out for the future and understanding what key components are required for each project, each product, whatever launch or release you have. I think it's so important to plan ahead. Obviously, Particle 41, it's known for its unique approach to software development, DevOps, data science. Can you just tell me how your company sets itself apart from other dev firms in the industry?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of dev firms in the industry. I totally hear that. But we've been there and we've done it before. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've created multiple companies and sold them. My partner and I have worked together for 20 years. And we've done 38 engagements in the last 48 months. And we know what's going on in the market across software execution, across DevOps, across cloud. We've done everything from app modernization to building mobile apps. And so we know what's going on. And so many firms are giving you a butt and a seat. And what we do is we wrap our services and our craftsmanship in an envelope of expertise. And so we'll give you the advice or we'll actually help you execute. So we cover everything from CTO advisory all the way through to project management and the development services. We give you the premium advice at a discount.
Awesome. And, just as a leader in the tech industry, I'm curious how you stay productive and really motivated with just how fast-paced everything is changing with technology. I know even for me, early in my career with tech, it's tough to stay consistent with all the different changes. And for me, it's just being around the right people. So I'm curious, how you stay persistent and motivated with all just the changes in the tech industry.
I think we're fascinated as engineers. We're fascinated by that. And, we're kind of a no FUD zone. So there's no room for fear, uncertainty, and doubt when it comes to new technologies, but an optimistic test and approve strategy. So we want to test new technologies, evaluate them, be cautiously optimistic about new technologies. But then, if they're helping move the barrier forward, let's face it, the types of tech I had to create 20 years ago at my first startup, most of that comes out of the box these days. And so that really it's reducing the barrier. Being digitally advanced is getting easier and easier. And, that's why one of the things that I'm doing is I'm talking with CEOs in CTO advisory about how to not get left behind. Because the barrier really, you may think that making your business more digitally enabled is super expensive, and it may not be. The things that you need are probably really similar to the things that other people need. And the industry is making those things more accessible. I was talking to some CEOs just this week about some of the advantages of AI and how easy it could be to do things that they've been struggling with for years. They may have been struggling with certain solutions for over a decade. And now with the emergence of AI, it's relatively plug and play to get something working for them that can totally change their business.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. What excites you the most about just the future technology and just different trends and advancements. Obviously, AI is huge coming up. Do you believe that is going to be the biggest impact on businesses in the future? AI alone or other tools as well?
So I'll compare it to my first startup. We racked and stacked our own hardware. We put the RAM cards in the RAM in the machine. We had to set up the operating system, put everything on. There's this huge IT structure step. Now it's cloud, right? We just push a few buttons. We have virtual servers, right? I think AI is a similar leap, like cloud was for IT. AI is a similar leap for a lot of written coding. When we agree with the customer that we're going to use AI-driven coding practice, they get the savings of that. They get the acceleration of that. With our pricing model, they get that advantage. So we can do more for them faster. And of course, then that reduces their total cost of ownership with the software or the digital solution that we're creating for them. So I think that's what I mean when I say the barrier is reducing. Technology is getting easier, and we want to pass those advantages on to the customer and help them really accomplish their business goal, straightest path.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Straightest path to success and really being able to see that clearly. I love that because it definitely could be stressful when there's so many different changes and you don't know exactly what you need. But yeah, awesome. I want to talk a little bit about just security and just, the major concern in today's digital landscape. How do you assure just like applications are built out by your company? How do you ensure they're highly secure and what measures do you take to prevent sensitive data?
Sure. So obviously we scan our code for best practices as we're writing it. We agree on linting patterns. We do static code analysis as we're writing the code. That's just kind of one of those standard best practices. We also monitor the cloud infrastructure for best practices too. We'll shout out to Alert Logic and similar tools that aren't that expensive that can make sure that you're doing everything in a principled approach. I think just thinking of security and shifting it as far left in your process as you can so that it's not this like I build a bunch of software and then I figure out if it's secure. It's knowing that it's secure as you go. And then also using best of breed partners for payment processing, not reinventing the wheel. Companies like Stripe are really great to help you with that. So, really focus on what differentiators you need in the product for yourself, and then use best of breed vendors like AWS and Azure and for hosting and like Stripe for payment processing and similar providers, so that you're not taking unnecessary risk as a SaaS company. And that'll also help you accelerate and move your differentiators forward. And so, we just really take a best practice and best partner approach to that. And in CTO advisory, I work through this little diagram that's called high value, high need, and where we establish that stack of like what's needed in the product. And if that need is readily available in the market, then we want to partner and configure. If that need is unavailable in the market, but we can find something and it's not really our core value driver, then maybe we acquire or partner with that customer or that capability, and really try to create a product strategy that makes us different to our customers, but also doesn't have us reinventing known technologies or known services.
Yeah, definitely. Leveraging off of what exists and applying and adapting accordingly. I love that. Can you talk just a little bit about, let's say, you're taking on a new company, they're interested in some of your services. Can you talk about just the process of onboarding a new company, what that might look like, and some of the different tools that might be implemented when you're taking on a new client?
So we love to have that initial we talk, we collaborate, we celebrate. So we love to run a product playbook to establish what the needs are. And then we work shoulder to shoulder as a team, prepare to crush the mountain of work that is your solution delivery or execution. We make sure that's on time and on budget. And then we celebrate. We help you monitor the results and make sure that your life's truly become better. And then see if there's a phase 2 that's needed, or if you've gotten what you need to accomplish out of our relationship. We heavily use Slack. If you're asking more of like a nuts and bolts question, we heavily use Slack to collaborate with our clients. We give every customer a Slack channel, and then every customer hears from us on a daily basis what we accomplished that day. And we also have a weekly, monthly, and quarterly communication framework. We use Jira mostly for actual issue tracking or work tracking. Heavy users of Atlassian products there. I think that answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. No, I love that, and I think that's really important. I love how you mentioned those daily check-ins on Slack. I think that's really important, especially your client can see exactly what was being accomplished, and they can kind of map out their strategy too, and see exactly what in their business is being accomplished. So, yeah, so can you share just a success story, some project you're really particularly proud of, where you were able to help a company accelerate their initiative through software development?
Sure. I'm sorry. I'm kind of thinking through the list to pick the best one or the favorite. I don't know that I totally have a favorite, but if you'll allow me, I'll make a quick summary of 3.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah.
So Forte, great brand. Go check them out. They have created digital music lessons. So you can jump on Forte. You can find a world-class music teacher. You can sit with them. You can learn guitar. You can learn piano. You can learn violin. Excellent experience. We built the in-lesson experience and optimized it for proper audio. So like a note off of a violin would be sustained. Could hear the whole note. The teacher could hear the whole note. Student could hear the whole note. Oddly, Zoom, not non-optimized Zoom, will cut those notes as noise, right? They'll think it's noise. The noise cancellation will get involved. And then we just made the whole experience where they can share music and have a great experience there. So love those guys. They're rocking it. We also have so those guys were really cool. We've also helped one customer that I won't name, but kind of an old brand that you would recognize, and they had 280 applications in their old data center, and we set them up on a brand new data center. Created a factory process to basically migrate them to the cloud. So we did that over a 9-month time frame, and just used a systematic approach to get them out of an aging data center into kind of the latest greatest cloud technology, and make use of Kubernetes and containerization and all kinds of things. They saw a huge increase in stability and a reduced cost, and they didn't have to go pour a bunch of money into their legacy data center. And then finally, we love our mobile app customers. We have a handful of them. We've helped Soltrans upgrade all of their GPS capabilities. We'll be launching a new mobile app for Prevail Social, which is a habit tracker, fitness tracker, social network type of app. And we've also built some mobile apps in manufacturing so that folks can go around and measure the quality of the products as they're being manufactured, and all of that gets reported to Oracle ERP. So one more that I'll mention, it's a huge favorite of ours. We're working on applications inside of the VR headset for next wave safety. And that's really cool because people can get training around high risk scenarios like handling patients, ladder safety, operating a forklift. These are just some of the videos that they've created, and that's a very safe environment to learn in the virtual reality before you go do the on-the-job training.
Definitely. I love that. And just going off of that, is there, like a revenue requirement, coming in as a client or as a company that you guys have in place? What are, the typical clients or companies that you're looking to bring on?
I like to have a relationship with the CEO, so I like to talk to CEOs. We are a little on the, we really love to serve the under 100 million client. Our clients range from startups to 100 million. We do have a couple of enterprise clients that would be what I would call 100 million plus. And we do really well for them. It's just the relationship is a little different. It's not quite as much of a partnership as it might be like a special operations team, working on a specific need for that enterprise client. But most of our customers are in that, 5 to 100 million range. And we like that because our clients become family, and we really like that direct pairing.
Yeah, definitely. Relationship building is very important, especially when you're scaling your business. Lastly, I'll end on this question. What's some advice, you'd give to our listeners that are looking to enhance just their own personal productivity and achieve success in their own fields, whether that's in tech, manufacturing, whatever industry they're in? What's one advice you'd give?
Yeah, a big believer in a 4-pillar lifestyle. So the 4 pillars are faith, family, fitness, and finance. And I firmly believe that if you don't give all 4, faith, family, fitness, and finance, their due, make them all 4 a priority, even on a daily basis, really consider them the same in terms of priority, then one of them will suffer, and then you'll end up in a deficit in one area that will suck from the others at some point. If you ignore your family, then you end up in some sort of family trauma, divorce, what have you, and then that, of course, that's going to occupy your mind share, and so I think there's this really important balance across that. In order to be excellent or to pursue excellent, you have to pursue excellence in all 4. I think there's a lot of professionals that would find that grinding 80 hours a week after a few years becomes just natural. It almost becomes comfortable. And speaking from experience, I found it very easy just to ignore the other pillars and focus solely on finance or focus on work. Just kind of, let my health go down, let the other areas suffer. And so I think that looks like is a solid morning routine where you're giving maybe that fitness and faith, out of the way, get those to have their time. And then that leaves you for, finance all day long and then family at night, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think structuring your lifestyle around those 4 pillars is what I feel is allowing me to perform at an excellent level for the longest period of time.
No, I love that. It reminds me, Ty Lopez, he talks a lot about, just health, wealth, love, and happiness, and incorporating those into your everyday routines is a great model to follow. But yeah, I've been following the 4 Fs for a few years too. And like you said, if one tumbles, they all eventually will end up tumbling. So you definitely notice it. But yeah, is there anything else, Ben, that you want to leave with our listeners? Any last remarks before we close out?
I would just say, if you're a CEO and you want somebody to come alongside you and participate in your journey with you, a 4-pack of C2 advisory sessions, complimentary, just to get to know you. And so if you're a CEO that just wants somebody to talk with and figure out, hey, are they staying ahead? Are they doing everything they can do to move their business forward digitally, technology, or personally? I am totally available, and I can be reached at ben@particle41.com. And I enjoy supporting CEOs on their journey to just drive their business as fast as it can possibly go.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I think you definitely, we're really excited to just see the future with Particle 41 and, what you have going the next few years and some of the great clients that you guys are working with. So, but yeah, I have your time again, Ben, today. It was great learning more about your experience, in technology, and you gave me some great advice too, personally. So yeah, other than that, this is another edition of Scaling Secrets Podcast. Until next time.